Imagine this. You're scuttling around on the sand underneath the ocean, watching fish swim past you in dazzling fireworks of colors. You feel light, and you don't have a troubling thought on your mind. Does this seem like a pipe dream to you? Well, if you're a crustacean, it could actually be achievable. Evolutionary scientists have made amazing discoveries within the past few centuries, and one of those discoveries would have to be carcinization, or the process of crustaceans tending to evolve into crabs. Today, we'll learn more about this fascinating phenomenon by first learning about crabs in general. Next, we'll dive into what carcinization and its processes actually are, and then finally, we'll learn why studying carcinization will be important to learning evolutionary history. Carcinization is a fascinating phenomenon, but we'll need to learn more about crabs to truly understand how it works. According to Tyler Richmond from the University of California, Davis, 2014, one of the fascinating things about crabs is that there are some true crabs and some false ones. True crabs tend to be symmetrical and have 4 pairs of legs. On the other hand, false crabs are asymmetrical and have either more legs than the desired amount or less. An example of a false crab would be the hermit crab, as it has an asymmetrical body and only has 2 pairs of legs. While knowing more crab facts might help you out in your social life, knowing this one fact will help you understand the process of carcinization. Now, if false crabs like hermit crabs want to stop being called false crabs, they can simply carcinize to become closer to their most crabby selves. According to Keeler et al. From the Biological Journal of the Linnean Society, 2017, when crabs carcinize, they come to look more like true crabs, meaning that they become flatter than they are broad. The reasons as to why this process occurs aren't very well known, because, as Keeler states, having a crab-like form is not intrinsically advantageous to crustaceans. However, some theories as to why this process occurs have been made. One such theory is that having a crab-like form simply allows crustaceans to survive longer. This might be the case because crabs, with their small and flat bodies, might be able to fit into hiding spots that crustaceans with a larger pleons, or abdomens, simply cannot fit into. However, Keeler does state that these features are not essential to crustaceans, so the confusion as to why this process occurs still remains. Why it might not initially be clear why we should study carcinization. Learning more about this process could allow us to better understand evolution as a whole. On phys.org, an online scientific news sharing service, Harvard University quoted one of its researchers as saying that biologists want to learn how to predict how animal characteristics might look like in the future, and that by studying carcinization and the evolution of crabs as a whole, we could get closer to reaching this goal. This is why evolutionary science and studying carcinization is so important. Just by looking into the past, we can learn what the future may hold. Today, we've examined crabs, how carcinization works, and why it is essential to continue studying it. Though carcinization may just be one chapter in the book of evolutionary history, it is a significant one. Carcinization and studying it allows us to know how crabs lived, died, and evolved to become better life forms. If we continue studying carcinization and how it occurs, we might be able to understand what crabs will look like in the future. And if we mastered that study, we could even examine how mankind could be in the future as well.